Well, welcome back to Beach Share Chats. My name is Brian Kaiser here. It's a beautiful day in March. In my office. I'd rather be outside in the spirit of Beach Share Chats. I'd prefer to be outside. And I have a great guest who's laughing, also agrees, I think, as well. Marla Meletis, how are you doing today, Marla?
I'm good. How are you, Brian?
Well, like I just stated, I'd rather not be here,
Yes.
but I'm happy to have this conversation because this is a wonderful part of what I do. Um, so you'd rather be at the beach too, right? You're a big beach fan.
Oh, yes. I drove back from the city today. I work down in the city currently, down in New York. And I drove back home today, windows open, and immediately like, let me just go outside and enjoy the
Mhm.
70-degree weather we're having because we haven't seen it yet. So very happy to have this
It's well,
first nice spring day.
it is coming, and so you're also here
Yes.
in Connecticut too, right?
Yes.
You're a
Yes.
native, well, not a native of You've been
No.
around.
Yeah, so I was born and raised just outside of Washington, D.C., or on
All
the
right,
south side of the Potomac in Alexandria, Virginia.
that place is a
Was
crazy
there.
place right now. I'm sorry not to get.
It's always been a crazy place. It just we see it more now. Um,
I won't get. Won't I won't go down that rabbit hole.
yeah,
Uh,
we could have an entire conversation on that.
that if you're at the beach and you have a conversation about that, you just go into the ocean and not want to come out.
Yes, yeah, just
Anyways,
just get on a raft and float away.
or just yeah,
Um,
sink. All right.
yeah,
All
so I was
right.
there for the first 26 years of my life,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna apologize if you just heard my cats in the background.
You have
There,
animals. It's
we
part
do.
of this
Yeah, so 26 years in outside of Washington D.C. and then we
Mhm.
moved to Colorado
Great state.
in 2006. Beautiful state,
Mhm.
very different, very wide open, something I kind of wasn't used to. We were there for almost 20 years, about 18, and
Mhm.
then moved back to the East Coast. Originally, we were living just outside of New York City for about a year, um, and then landed in Connecticut this past fall. So
Well, welcome, fellow nutmegger. I'm also familiar with Connecticut. I'm not Connecticut. Geez, Colorado. I spent previous life of mine is go to Colorado quite a
yes,
bit. Some
you
beautiful.
went to college in Nebraska,
I
I
went to
believe.
school, college in Nebraska. Yeah, so the Cornhuskers. There's no
Yes.
beaches in Nebraska. People
No.
have, well, no, they have man-made lakes and people have
I was
pontoon
gonna say there's
boats.
beach type things, and we definitely enjoyed a
Yeah.
lot of that in Nebraska, Colorado, the whole Midwest. Like,
Yeah, it's very
you
open.
know,
You're right. It's very open. I always
yes,
equate the Midwest to kind of like being sort of like the ocean. Just mine is the view part minus the water part. Very open. You look out for miles.
yes.
You might see a tractor, looks like a boat in the distance. I grew up
Or,
on a
or you might
farm.
see
I
something
know
on fire.
that too. That's apparently happening. Not getting covered, but it is happening. Um, so you're in Connecticut. Obviously, beaches in Connecticut. I will say now that you're here, the it's better to go to Rhode Island. Um, I worked in Bridgeport for a minute in Long Island Sound, just not great. It's not like a body of water I want to go in, but it's still pretty. Don't get me wrong, it's still
Yes.
pretty. I have an
And I think the
appreciation.
further north you get, the closer to Rhode Island. So I have a friend who lives in New London.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, I think it's Ocean Beach Park up there.
Oh yes,
And
yes.
it's a great place to hang out. It's still in state. We can get around the
It's
95
free.
traffic for the
It
most
is
part.
free. It's free for
I think
Connecticut residents.
you
Oh,
have to
Ocean
pay to
Beach, you
park.
don't. It's correct. You do have to
Yeah.
pay to park, but yeah, other state
But it's
beaches.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap. I mean, and we had to do the same thing in Colorado. If we wanted to take our boat to the state park, we had to buy the pass. So it was like $80 for the year. And
Yeah,
I think that's about what Ocean Beach is running, maybe 100.
yeah,
It's
pays for
not
itself.
exactly.
But you're in Connecticut. You're a nurse, correct? So
Yes.
you're a nurse in the city. Can we drive to
Yes,
New
I'm a
York
nurse.
City from?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, so I drive to Westchester
Okay,
currently. I stay with a friend down there when I'm working. I work three
gotcha.
shifts a week. So basically, I essentially travel for work
Hmm.
from, Connecticut to New York City. And then I turn around and come home.
Hmm.
I am changing that though. I did find something here in Connecticut that's
Hey,
up
go!
in Hartford
Congrats.
with Hartford
Nice.
Healthcare.
Hey, great. Shout out to
So,
Hartford
um,
Healthcare. It's
yeah,
a good place to go see
yeah.
doctors and stuff. It is National Doctors Day, so nurses have to. Do you have to give doctors like their credibility today? Because I saw something online. It's National Doctors Day.
Yes, and shout
Well,
out to all of them. They're part
well,
of the system with us. We can't do what nurses can't do what we need to do without them.
Hmm.
Um,
But
we can to some extent. Yeah, nurses really.
who
Yeah,
runs the
it's
show?
nurses.
Who truly runs the show? It's the nurses do.
It's nurses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what pulled you into nursing? So what was why'd you go into the field?
So when I originally started my career, I was an EMT,
Okay.
and I was in school for that program, EMT paramedic,
Mhm.
on 9/11.
Okay.
And I was still out just outside of Washington D.C. I was 10 miles
Yeah.
from the Pentagon,
Oh, right. Wow.
and so it was really a pivotal moment in my career. It was
Hmm.
my first ever hospital job, first big girl job, if you will, where like I'm going to have my own health insurance and everything.
Hmm.
And um, I don't think I expected to stay being a paramedic, but I loved it. And then we moved to Colorado, and my protocols changed quite a bit from what I was allowed to do in the field on my own versus what I had to call the doctor for. And I was just feeling very constricted. And I'm like, my education has set me up better than this, and I want
Yeah.
more. So I decided the next logical step was go back to school for nursing.
Hmm.
And so I did at the age of, 30, decided it's okay, time to go back to school. And that's a hard decision to make, to walk away from, a consistent income. And I was doing a program that was an accelerated program. So they were like, you shouldn't plan to work if you're working, or if you are working, you
Hmm.
need to work around school.
Yeah.
And I ended up not working at all. We were in a position decent enough. It wasn't fun, but we were in a decent enough
Yeah.
position that we could live off of my husband's income for the 18 months I was in school.
Hmm.
And then I landed my jobs, and then I stayed and worked my way up the ladder and eventually across the country.
And now you're here and you're going to be in Hartford, which will also be great too. I think I'm assuming the commute to the city and doing all that logistical stuff is exhausting.
It
Um,
is.
and it
It
takes
is.
away from just the fun things in life too. Whether you're at the ocean, you can do more while you're not traveling. You can spend time with all your animals, with your
Yes.
husband too, right? You said you have a husband, and explain that you have a partner too, and they
Yes.
all, yeah. What's that all
So
about?
yes, the word most commonly known is throuple. I don't like the
Thruple.
word. I don't. Yeah, I don't really like labels.
Hmm.
Throuple indicating there's three people.
Okay,
Um, Not a huge fan of labels.
it's
Like
not a trio.
we
I mean, why don't you
are.
just call it a trio? Like, what's
I
up?
think a trio is actually probably a better way to
Sounds
describe
just
it.
made. It
But
sounds
I
real, but
usually
what it
say
is.
my husband and my partner.
Okay.
Um, so my partner is she. We are platonic.
Hmm.
I love her to death. She's an amazing human being. And jokingly at one point we called each other sisters' wives. We've kind of gotten
Okay.
away from that.
It's- Isn't it like
It
the
took on a negative turn at some point. Just like, yeah, no, she's my partner. We sit down and we have the exact same hard conversations that I'm going
yeah,
to have with my husband. And
yeah.
sometimes we sit down as a trio and have them together. And sometimes, depending on the subject, if it causes one person more anxiety and it's
You
something that
just
they don't
pivot.
necessarily
Okay.
need to be involved in, then, we have the conversation with just two people.
All right.
And
Sounds like it
then
could have
when
some
we have a
benefits.
resolution, we bring in the third person and say, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Or like a mediator at that point. Your sister wife, now the throuple, now the mediation. We got
Yes.
someone here to be fulfilled how we're talking, like you're not making
Yes.
sense. But
Yes. And absolutely, sometimes it helps to have that third party involved.
yeah, subjective,
If there's two of you that
objective.
just can't, you can't, you're not communicating for whatever reason. Maybe you're arguing the same point, but you're using different words.
Yeah, like
You
you're
know,
being unreasonable. Like no, they're actually being reasonable. You're
yes,
just not using a term. You're just being mad and being deflecting. It's not
yeah,
unreasonable.
but yes,
So now, and so when you guys travel too, right? Do you all travel together? I saw you send a lot of pictures too, which I appreciate
yes.
a
So
lot of
some of
pictures,
those,
which
some
are
of
great.
those was my travel with my husband.
Hmm.
Some of those was travel with friends.
Hmm.
Um, and then the three of us have always been kind of in the same location. We did. Um, my partner moved back across the country probably about a year and a half before we did.
Okay.
And so we came out like to celebrate her birthday one time. And then I made arrangements to fly back separately and he stayed. But we are actually traveling for the first time, the three of us together. We're going back to Colorado for our niece's graduation in
Nice.
May. Um, and so it'll be the first time the three of us have like gotten on a plane together.
Good luck with the gosh, shit.
I
The
know.
airports. I give you. Hopefully things are better by then. But yeah,
Well,
God,
and thankfully, I was able to get us reasonably priced tickets out of Hartford, which can be a challenge. But
yes,
with
just
some points and some credits, I was like, okay, I'm okay paying this, and to not have to drive to Boston or New York and deal with TSA there,
yes, yeah.
it's
Well,
worth it.
I'm more of a TF Green in Providence, but you're not near that. But I like the little
Yeah.
TF Green airport in Providence. It's
Well,
nice.
to
It's
me,
quaint.
Hartford's a small airport.
It
Is
is. Yeah. When
you
I
know,
used to
I
travel back to the Midwest, I like how do I? There's nothing cheap to
right,
Nebraska. I could
yeah,
fly to Iceland for cheaper. I could fly to Europe, which is sometimes I found my passport. It's debatable.
absolutely,
I could relocate. I mean, I'm interviewing someone from France on this thing in a couple like next week, so I
nice,
could do time change.
awesome.
But but it is expensive. But there's a lot of logistical stuff with the airports now. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get my parents out. I'm like, my parents like, I don't want to fly right now. There's like 4.5 hour
Hmm.
lines. There's other people that are policing the place now instead of
Yeah.
TSA. I won't go down the rabbit hole there, but I have opinions. And if I like I said, if I'm on the beach right now, I just want to go jump in the ocean. Um, but hopefully the travel goes well too. Is when you
Yes,
get to
I'm
do
hoping
that.
by because we're not going to like mid-May, so I'm hoping by
Mhm.
then things are smoothed out a bit. I'm not. I'm not terribly optimistic about that,
Cautiously
uh,
optimistic, or yeah,
or not. But it's going to be what it's going to be, and we love this little girl, and
that's important. You do
we're
the things you
happy to
get to do.
celebrate her
Yes.
accomplishments. So
So do you,
we'll
when
we'll be
you
adults about it.
so when you travel, who takes care of all the animals? You mentioned you have nine,
Yes. So there's 9 cats.
nine cats.
Our lovely Puerto Rican neighbors call them their little gatitos,
Okay.
and then there's 5 ducks. So because the three of us are going to be gone, we're going to try and just bring in a cat sitter.
Mhm.
There's a possibility that my partner's niece might come out from Iowa and visit,
Okay.
and
I
stay
would
with us for a few days
Iowa.
and stay with them.
I have an opinion about Iowa. I would say I posted this on Threads the other day, not to interject, but as a Nebraska fan, this is my podcast. I can say it. Fuck Iowa. And so, I mean, I
Now,
wouldn't call that
Iowa or Iowa State?
Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, not
See, we are
Iowa State.
Iowa State
Oh, that's
fans.
fine. Then you could probably say the same thing. Fuck Iowa.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
hopefully. Now, the question I would have asked, you see, I didn't realize it was ducks. I thought, well, would the cats ever go rogue and like kind of want to get the duck, right? And it's animal
So
instinct.
while I was outside, I took one of them with me. He loves to be
Okay.
outside. When
Yeah.
we had that really cold snap a few weeks
Mm,
ago, he snuck outside while we were like bringing in groceries or something. I had no idea. We're wandering
mm,
around looking for, like, I hear a cat meowing and we're looking in every closet, can't find him. I'm like, he's in someone's stuck somewhere in the living room. And then I'm
yeah.
like, no, he's on the other side of the door,
See,
outside in
of
like
course.
single digit highs.
That's probably why it's meowing. And
So,
cats, see, cats are their curiosity able to kill the cat. That's a
oh,
phrase.
very much so. Yes.
Um, like
Yeah.
I said, I grew up on a farm and we had farm cats. And so farm cats are
Okay.
not
Yep.
like regular cats. They inbreed and they become weird and they're kind of gangly. It's like, and
So
usually,
7 of our cats are from the same mom
okay,
from the farm in Iowa.
see, I won't, that's Iowa for you. I'm kidding.
Yes. Now they don't know.
Stereo.
Oh no! As soon as they get to us, as soon as they're big enough,
We're gonna
they
find them real
those
people,
parts
real
go.
cats. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Other cats that are not part of the same genes. Okay.
No,
I grew up on,
we're not reproducing.
well, growing up in the Midwest, there's always a stereotype when I moved to the Northeast. It's like, oh, did you marry your cousin? Did you date your cousin? It's like, no. Fucking,
That's
so,
more the South.
that's what I had to correct. I'm like, that's down south.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
that's my
Wrong
mom and
direction.
pa down there. And that's what we talk about. That's why I won't marry you with the bad vocal expressions. I do those all the time. Not on this. It's the first time I've ever done that. So God forbid I do that again. Um, so what is one other unique things? So too, talk about vintage resale.
Yeah. So my partner
Is
started doing this in like 2000 and I guess probably 2020, like year of COVID. She really started
mm-hmm.
um, finding unique things. And, they had some family members that passed away in Iowa and they had some unique things. So she listed them on some websites. And, people have a collection of mom's teacups. And our
Hmm.
generation, I feel like, Gen X and moving forward, like we don't really have that type of thing. We have
Hmm.
other things that we got into, but it wasn't like the antique teacups and antique furniture and all that kind of stuff. But somebody does, and somebody wants a complete collection of moms, and maybe one got broken. And she finds these, and they're at the thrift store for an amazing price. But a lot of people don't want to go to the thrift store for one reason or another. Um,
Hmm.
I I can say I wasn't a huge fan
Hmm.
because I don't like, especially when it comes to clothing, like I didn't like digging through the clothing because they tend to put so much stuff up there.
Yes.
But
Have
now I
you
love it.
have you ever considered being on Antique Roadshow? I think that's on PBS, right? Are you
Yeah,
a
I think it
fan?
is.
Do you
That's
watch?
not, I'm
No.
more of a fan of the clothing.
Okay.
But I know
Just
what you're talking about.
vintage
Yeah, the
clothing.
vintage, and it's amazing some of the durability behind it compared to some of the stuff you see today.
I find it interesting when I see trending clothing that was popular when probably we grew up in our
Yeah,
generations. I haven't seen anybody with like tight rolled jeans yet. That's the
not yet.
thing.
Some of them have stayed out, but some of them they're slowly making their way back in.
Some,
But like
s-
Ralph
yeah,
Lauren's very popular again,
yeah, some
and Tommy
styles.
Hilfiger. And
Yeah.
but you people are really looking for the classic stuff, and you're gonna find that at the thrift stores.
Come on, get you some
So,
pleated jeans or Z Cab Arichis, some pleated,
oh,
it's and get those rugby shirts I think I had in high school that were heavy weighted material. Like this is who
they
wears this
are.
stuff? It's
So
got
we
that
actually
stupid
had
white collar.
one.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
we
rugby
had one.
shirts.
So my partner was gone for 2 weeks. She was visiting family and doing some thrifting, sourcing, and whatnot. And I was taking photographs of some of the stuff we have here to go online.
Hmm.
And so she could keep posting and we can keep selling. And that rugby shirt sold in 12 hours.
Wow, 12. Because I
12
hated it.
hours.
I don't know why I like those things because it was the heaviest
Yes.
shirt.
When I picked it up, I'm like,
It's
oh
like,
my God, we wore these?
oh, remember ponchos? Did you remember those things? I saw someone the other day
Yes.
wearing a poncho. Like it was like wearing a. I
Yes.
mean, those are hot too. I had one because it was the thing.
Yeah.
Um, it's the stuff. The trending clothing, is
Yes.
back, and there's also trending things from my generation too. I think I saw an article. I would love to see this actually happen. That they want to bring back like not record stores or vinyl stores. Those are already a thing, but like a Blockbuster type thing. Again, it's like yes, bring back Blockbuster video. Instead of like downloading on a streaming app, you go back into
Right.
the thing and you get the
Yes.
video. There's just so much better, I think.
Yeah.
The experience is better
It
too. Not just let's download Netflix and what movie do you want to watch?
and watch whatever you want whenever you want.
No, there's something like I want
It's
that
that
movie.
instantaneous
It's, you
gratification.
have no idea if it's good. There's no trailer. There's nothing.
Right?
No, I am Internet Movie Database to look
Or
at. You
like,
just
you go to Blockbuster on Friday night and the movie you're looking for isn't there.
I know, it's you're pissed. It's like and you get yelled at if you're on a date. Like, why didn't you get here sooner? Like, I don't know. Get the other movie.
Right.
Um, so vintage stuff, the beach, these are the things. I always had this question too. If someone's listening to this and question, are they doing life the right way? What would you say? Are you
If
doing life
someone,
the right? Yeah, are you
I
doing
think,
life the right way? Like, are you doing it? How
that's going
would?
to be determined by each individual person.
Mhm.
And it's going to change based on the scenario that your life happens to be currently unfolding in. Because
Mhm.
sometimes life happens. When I got the job in New York and we moved back across the country, we had intentions of getting a house in Connecticut, but not so soon. It was kind of like, okay, I'm going to get something down in the city, maybe a
Mhm.
little co-op or something that I can stay at. And we knew that there was going to be a house here that our partner was going to get.
Yeah.
Um, and so, great, we can have both for some time. And then, circumstances happened and we're like, all right, well, we need to pivot.
Mhm.
And what does this look like? Okay, yes, this is a big enough house that the three of us and 9 cats can live in it. You got to think about the 9 cats.
The cats probably run the
And
show, right? Too.
we do recognize how unhinged that is.
there's a whole lot of unhinged in the world. I think
There
this
is.
is okay, unhinged. You can
Yeah.
have animals
So
bring
it's
joy
just,
too.
make the best out of the situation you're in. And with any luck, it's a temporary situation.
Hmm.
Or if it becomes a permanent situation, again, just make the best out of it. And you ultimately determine what's right for you. And that's the
Exactly.
kind of big premise behind polyamory. Not
Hmm.
every polyamorous couple, throuple,
Trouble,
whatever,
double trouble is like double throuple, double trouble.
you know,
I just have a name for this
people
podcast.
they
Double trouble.
ooh, that's a good one.
It's like
Um,
double, yeah, trouble.
it's also referred to as designer relationships.
Okay.
And it's basically it's living life by your design.
Okay.
It's what works for you and everyone involved. And it looks different for everybody. And maybe it looks different. Maybe I like someone that my husband doesn't particularly care for. Well, that's fine. I can still go see that person.
Hmm.
I just don't need to connect him to my husband.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, it
So
works best for people, makes life less complicated,
exactly.
then go for it. Um,
Exactly.
so this is a fun thing. So you in your busyness, right, of travel and work and throupling and animals. If you had a completely free summer day, now summers will be here, and summers definitely hits different than DC because DC was always atrociously hot, and the
Yes.
summer in Colorado's this different vibe in the summer, just dry heat, but not bad. Connecticut's it's okay, but being where you're at in that 95 corridor, I'm spoiled where I'm at in the southeastern part. It's nice. It's like 15 degrees cooler when I get off work. But if you had a free summer day, free, absolutely free, no one, not your husband, not your partner, not the animals, not people at work, what would you do with that free summer day?
Um, I am definitely going to spend part of it by the water or in
Okay.
the water. Um, so if I'm by myself, I usually just have my paddleboard out
Hmm.
and I have it fully equipped so that I have my life vest. I have a cooler I can put on it.
There you
I
go.
have an anchor. So if I want to just anchor up somewhere and sit and float, I can.
Hmm.
Because, you can't be on a stand up paddleboard all day long,
No, I just you
especially
gotta
when you're
sit.
dealing with bodies of water that have currents in them.
Yes.
Lakes are one thing. Most of the current is from boats
Hmm.
or sometimes wind. Um, so yeah, I am definitely spending part of it on the water. Probably reading a book. I have a list of books that I want to read that I seem to, just they go by the wayside.
I've been
And
reading.
I'm one
Yeah.
that I like an actual book. Like I don't mind reading on a device, but I prefer the
Like
book
the
in my
whole,
hands.
is it like a, it's not like some biography here, or some nonfiction. It's probably is it some easy reading,
If it's just a lazy type of day, yeah, just an easy read,
like some trashy
entertainment.
romance? Okay, not some trashy
Yes,
romance book. Okay. Yeah, I try to read more,
maybe.
maybe some. I've been trying to read more in 2026. It's the thing that I've been doing, but I'm finally picking up the fiction book now versus a lot of nonfiction, not self-help books, like more like mental health, things like that. But the beach is great for mental health. You don't even need to read, and so that's the best part. Um, but soon enough, it's getting warmer here, thank gosh. But yeah, you'll find yeah, the Jersey Shore. I've not been there. I interviewed someone on here recently who was from New Jersey and talked about the Jersey Shores. I've heard they're beautiful. I've never been. Um, so there is a lot of great things to be found. So, Marla, it's been wonderful having you on today. I hope you get that day
Thank
off
you.
from everybody and everything. You get your paddleboard out and get to read some books and just forget about this world we
It's
live in
coming.
today. Thank you, Marla, for being on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.